And that's one thing you notice when you watch rugby. Everyone get an opportunity to run the way they want to, when they need to. You know what I'm saying? The ball can be passed left to right, kick the head of you, your next guy can get it. The energy of that alone is beautiful because there's really no I in team, especially when you're playing rugby.
Right.
What's good, y'all? It's the Demouchets React, and we're back with another video. Who we got today, C?
Today we're back with another reaction. Super excited about this video. If you're new to us
And we're new to you,
make sure you scroll down,
hit that subscribe button,
and turn on the post notification bell
because we're on the road to 50K.
And we cannot get there without you guys, all right? Join the family. Without further ado, let's get into the video.
Let's get it.
After the tackle from Wilson, beautiful hands from Marksman. Pipi! The chopper for Lucanio!
That was hella smooth, man. That move looked really coordinated. Like, I don't know if they talked about that or whatnot, but that move looked like they had it planned out because that was just too much perfect timing. Like,
yeah, you can tell they play together.
Yeah,
because they was on it
from the top. You gotta see that.
After the tackle from Wilson, beautiful hands from Marksman. Pipi!
Like, you looking dead at him too. Like, right back at him. That's the one. And I go Magladi, bro, like that move looked at real simple and easy to do. But it was it's worth a whole lot.
That's the first try that we've ever scored in a World Cup final. And scored by possibly the player that has come from the most hopeless situation in the history of Springbok rugby.
Well, he was Makazola playing for that day.
No, he was playing. I think, obviously, he was playing for South Africa, and I think if you talk to him, I don't know. Do you know the story about the jerseys? Of the,
they wasn't able to wear it.
On the back of your numbers, you had to have family members. You know, you can give him photos of family members.
Yeah, that jersey's hard, bro.
He only had photos of himself.
So he had literally no family. Are we talking about the gentleman? No. Yeah, he had literally no family. Because I was about to do a comparison, because I remember, I think I heard this story or similar to it, but I'm not too sure, and I don't want to mess this up, because this was a touching moment.
I haven't heard anything about this, but I remember y'all telling us that back in the day, oh my God, I'm getting chills. Back in the day that y'all couldn't even wear the colors of their jersey.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. We actually have a video up, you guys, where they got like the whole breakdown on the Springboks with their jerseys and the black community not being able to wear it. Yeah. It's just crazy, yo, because to say that he came from a really difficult situation like they mentioned, and he was able to score the first try in the finals.
Yeah.
That's history. That is history.
Because he didn't have anybody else. And they'll say, why are you doing this? And he says he's got nobody. His brother died. His mom died there, his father. He doesn't have a photo. So he doesn't play for one thing. He's just got massive heart. Massive heart.
Wow.
We can go ahead.
Okay, so your reaction to when Sia was appointed?
Well, when Sia was appointed, I mean, a lot of us suspected it a bit, also not, because we were in a different place back in 2018. So, but I mean, looking back at it now, he's such a influential person in South Africa. He was a role model and an inspiration to a lot of people before he was appointed captain, and when it happened, I mean, it made so much sense. He's a great player and he's a great person as well, and also a leader. He's been from a young age. So when he was appointed, it was sort of just like, wow, okay, awesome. And the people in the country just rallied, and it was truly, I don't think even he realized at the moment the magnitude of it, but it of course became this massive story, and he's an inspiration to not only South Africa, to us as players and teammates as well.
Part of that story is that he's the first black captain of the team. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, being back in South Africa, we all know the history of our country and how it's been, and I think it was such a great timing, a great time for something like that to happen. It was long overdue for a black captain, I think, in our country, because with the dynamics of our country, a lot of people can relate to the Springboks now that he's captain, and seeing him run out there and being the inspiration and the great story it is. It was a big thing, not only rugby wise, but for the country. It was massive.
Bro, and that's how it usually is though. Like that, let's look at it as a classroom. That one kid that they clown and they don't gee with as much, be the one they asking for the answers for at the end of the day. Because that one just knew it all. You know what I'm saying? It had that much value and inspiration towards the classroom that after they got them from laughing at them, they're like, you know what, you actually an A+ student. That's how it is.
That person end up being the person to bring everybody together.
Facts.
This is why South Africa has a special place, and that's not to show favoritism or anything. It's just because the histories are so similar, and just to see this team and how everybody was just celebrating. I've seen videos where it was a white South African and a black South African hugging, and I'm not even from South Africa, but I feel the love and the will for change. And we know y'all have come a long way, but to first of all hear the first story about the man who didn't have anything, and this story not anything, anybody, yeah, and this story right here with choosing a black South African to be the captain of the team
at the times it was in.
Yes, and he's still captain, I believe.
I think he was the first captain.
Yeah, he's still the captain.
Oh, is it the same story?
Yeah, this one is for their last win.
Okay.
So, man, I just love the direction that South Africa is going into. And I love that a rugby team can have that much impact on the country, that it's unifying the country.
Nah, facts.
I love it.
And you've led teams as well, so can you just tell us a little bit about what it means to you to be a leader, and sort of what's incorporated in being a leader, and then how Sia, how he led the team and how he brought people together?
Yeah, I mean, growing up, I was put in leadership positions quite a few times, and it's something I really enjoyed and relished, and sometimes it brought the best out of me. So I enjoyed that, but Sia being appointed, he took a sort of a different look at it, and he knew that he can't do everything himself. It's a massive, not only because of his story and the attention he's going to get off the field, which is great.
I'm sorry. I'm just going to ask her to.
Listen to.
I just hear the phone in the back.
Sorry.
Sorry, we were just hearing that phone in the background. Is it okay?
Oh, that's
okay. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, perfect.
So you were saying that you took a different. You guys ready? Okay. Camera?
Yeah, it's okay.
So you're saying you took a different.
Yeah, so I mean, we knew as a group that him being appointed captain is going to be massive off the field, all the stories and the inspiration and all of that, which is great. But for him to have all of that stuff off the field and then leading us on the field, it's a lot to put on one person. So he sort of early identified a few of us to support him in that role, and it's something we enjoyed, and we of course said yes to do so, because one guy cannot have all that responsibility and still play well, which is the most important thing at the end of the day. So he had a few guys he could go to as bankers, and we try to look after the rugby stuff, the on-field stuff, mostly, and make sure that he doesn't have to worry about that, and he can just focus on all the media stuff, which is a big part in any sport, and all the off-field stuff.
So he really sort of unified you guys by accepting that one person that he can't do it all alone, and he was honest about that, it sounds like.
100%, yeah. Just knowing, because it's impossible to do all of that by yourself. So, but we always supported him, and he trusted us, which was massive, to make calls and do stuff whenever we felt was the right thing to do. And having that trust between each other was awesome.
That's cool. That's pretty special that, because I think a lot of times there can be some ego involved, perhaps, as well. So it sounds, can you maybe talk a little bit about how the team came together with and behind Sia?
Yeah, no, that's probably one of the main things Rassie taught us or told us not to have is an ego. If you have an ego when you play for the Springboks, he would just tell you the next day, please leave. There's no room for egos in that squad, like it should be. It's not about you, it's not about me, it's about the team and South Africa. So,
and that's one thing you notice when you watch rugby. Everyone get an opportunity to run the way they want to, when they need to. You know what I'm saying? The ball can be passed left to right, kick the head of you, your next guy can get it. The energy of that alone is beautiful because there's really no I in team, especially when you're playing rugby.
Right. Okay. Yeah, we still learning, y'all. We still learning. Be gentle.
Knowing that there's no egos in the group, I thought it was going to be a bit harder than it was, but the group we had together, we didn't think about stuff too much. Whenever Rassie, Sia, one of the leaders, said something and like saying there's no egos in this team, everybody just rallied behind them and trusted in their decisions.
Sounds like a good team to be part of.
Yeah, awesome.
So we moved sort of into closer, maybe 2 or 3 months before the championship, Sia gets injured. Can you talk about sort of what effect that had on the team and how that might also affect how a player can be affected by this kind of injury?
Yeah, no, massive. I mean, I've had a fair share of injuries, so I know all about it, and he also had a few in his career. So, but we knew Sia would be ready for the World Cup. But to miss out on all that build-up, that championship before the World Cup is so massive to get stuff in place, to build confidence as a group. So it was a big shot for us, a big knock. But also that being said, within the group, there's so many leaders just naturally. So we had Dwayne becoming captain for the championship, and a guy like Kwagga Smith getting opportunity to play Test match rugby and preparing him and giving him a taste of what's to come if he goes to the World Cup, which he did. So it wasn't good, but it was a good opportunity for other guys to fulfill roles that they normally would not have fulfilled. Kind of go back to your question.
And I guess also it sounds like Sia was there the entire time with the team. Everybody was supported kind of on all sides, both him and his recovery and you guys as a team with your captain.
Yeah, 100%. No, it's again, in the team, if you're injured, you're never not with a team. You're always training with a team, staying part of it, staying in every single meeting, staying connected, and for when that day comes when you're fit again, that you're not behind or you're lacking on some detail. Whenever somebody came back, we knew they were fit, they were strong, and they were mentally in a good place to just slot in and play and perform at the highest level.
And like you said, you have a lot of experience with that because you've had a couple of pretty significant injuries in the past.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about what that experience was like and sort of how that impacted you as a player and what it made you come what it made you realize about the game and your relationship?
That was a massive part in my, not even just career, I think in my life. Coming out of school, I was fortunate and very blessed to play in the highest level at a very young age, and everything was just going well for 2-3 years, and I was sort of in this cloud where, life's just awesome, playing for the Springboks, earning good money, everything's just great, and then something like that happens where I was out of the game for about 14 months where
that's a long time.
You sit back and then you realize, it's like any injury, you sit back and you see, okay, who's actually your real friends, your family, of course, supports you, but you actually see how few people actually really care about you, because when you're playing for the Springboks, it's easy for a lot of people to be your friend and care for you. And in that moment, I remember I was lying in hospital, and it wasn't something that bothered me. It was actually an awesome feeling knowing, okay, now I know who's my support base,
That's important, man, because your friends' loyalty isn't to you when you're up. It's for you when you're down. That's what their loyalty is there for, to be used for. Yeah. To see how they're going to really benefit you when you're at your lowest. And as you can see, a lot of people just started to drift away for this gentleman. It's crazy. It's the reality of it, though.
Yeah.
My inner circle I can trust, and people I can phone any day of the month. And it just made me realize that there's more to life than rugby, because until that moment, I didn't think so. I just played rugby and I loved it and I thought this is it. but there's so much more to it. And I look back at experiences I had before the injuries, and you don't always enjoy or take everything in as you should, because you think, there'll be next time, there'll be next week, there'll be next tournament. Just sit back, and then after that I came back with a whole different mindset, not just in rugby but in life also, but more in rugby, of just appreciating every single day, being a part of the Springboks every single day, getting selected for the squad every single time, what an honour it is, and how much you should enjoy it, because it's not going to last, it's going to end, it could end any day. So just savouring those moments even more is the big thing I took out of it.
Okay, so what's interesting is that they have to get selected they got to get selected again.
Yeah.
All right. So because I'm thinking of like our football contracts, and they each have individual contracts, right?
Yeah. How long you can stay on the team unless you get traded?
Okay. That's different. So if they don't get selected, they just
what happened?
They
like
go
I would
play
like
for
to
their
know.
regional.
I really don't know. I would love to know more about that,
yeah.
like the behind the scenes of, trying to, be on the team, and what happened when you're on the team. Do you have to be redrafted or re-enlisted or however that goes?
Yeah, y'all let us
I don't
know.
know
We
about
have
that
football minds.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that purpose that was starting to exist in the team, that existed just by nature of you being there in Mampims, and I mean, everyone has hard stories somewhere along the line. It's all relative, but how was that starting to grow about your purpose and the team's purpose to make a difference and make a change?
Yeah.
And have and because people are listening to you now more than they were before,
Yeah.
And also I'd like to ask you the same question: Was Rassie transforming? Was he initially a coach who thought this is how we're going to win the World Cup, and by the end, it felt to me like his it felt like there was something different happening for him.
Yeah, I mean, coach just he didn't like those give people hope, all those kind of chats. He just wanted you to play, give you 100% in the field and on and off the field, give it everything and go, and focus on playing well. And when you start doing that and start winning, that's when you give people hope, And he didn't like talking about that. We're playing for hope. No. Just want us to play. But by the final, he saw like what was going on in our country, and he started seeing, and that's when he started telling us about pressure. Pressure is not what we're going through right now. Pressure is what's happening in our country. People losing their children. Kids not having food to eat, people losing jobs. And we in a place of privilege, because what we can do on Saturday is to give a smile in people who are going through the worst things in their lives. But we can change the whole mood of the country by winning this game. And that is privilege. And that is what we can do. That's something that you should be proud of, you should be excited for. Because at home, that's pressure that was happening. And he told us, like, the country we're playing is in the final. They don't know what all of those things feel like, which is true, with all the respect but they don't know what not having half of the population not having jobs, people not having food, like the way people were dying in our country, and we knew what it felt, and we all had different reasons of playing, and the coach knew what was my drive, and he said it there in his speech. You want the next kid in the country not to go through what you went through. And this is the time, you winning here and giving your best today. Peter stayed for the kids in the farms, knowing, because he knows now us winning that changes the narrative of most of the kids, but it gives us the opportunity to change the narrative. Now people are listening, and now all of us who are doing work off the field, everything we wanted to do, now you're getting more people jumping on board, wanting to work with you, because you've done something that nobody thought you would do. And we came together as a team that brought a nation together, and we wouldn't have dreamed of that, but we had to win that game. I don't know how it would have been if we didn't win, but you know how. People would tell me straight, I'm working with you, because if we had lost, maybe it could have been a different, maybe I wouldn't have worked with you, but yeah, it did make a big difference, and it was so much more than a game for us. And I still remember the feelings of the game till this day, the day, and the speech, coach's speech in that final, and just going to the toss and standing there next to Owen Farrell, I could feel, and we were walking down the tunnel with England next to us, I was in phase. I didn't even care that it was the final. I remember it was my 50th game, and the day before was so special for me. Coach handed over the jersey, the speech that he made, and he talked about everything I've spoken about my journey, because he knows my journey when I was at school already. And that's what you want from a coach. He must know you, not just you and what drives you, what makes you tick, and he understands that. And he told
Yes, not just what you can bring to the team.
That's a bar.
Okay, he
That's
knows
hard.
you
Yeah,
and
yeah.
why it means that much for you to make it.
Just like the first, I think that was the coach, right? The first clip, yeah.
that's
Just
the
like how
coach.
he got really emotional behind one of the players, is because he knew the ins and outs of this gentleman, and that's the only way you can really build up a real strong, healthy team. If you diving into the real, true lifestyles of what they got going on, get inside their minds. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't push nobody that you don't know. Like you're gonna get really more frustrated at their mistakes before you be more forgiving of it. You know?
Right,
So
right,
it's like,
definitely.
yeah.
And hold up, babe.
No,
okay,
no,
so
I got
I
this
don't
little
know.
thing I do.
I know. I don't know this coach. I don't know nothing about him. I don't know if he said something controversial.
Yeah.
I don't know his character. But from just these videos that we have watched, I'm liking this coach. I see him when it comes to his players.
Yeah.
He know his players' background. Look at how Sia is talking about him. I love that. And I wanted to, relate. Y'all know we always relate things to personal life and things like that. But I wanted to relate that to our supporters.
Facts. Yeah.
We know many of our supporters by names. We know anything that you have told us. We have it in our memory bank.
Yeah.
Because just as his players are valuable to him, our supporters are valuable to us.
Yeah, and just like his coach made his past and the things that he was going through a part of his speech, just like when we say our supporters, we bring things back to their memory to let them know that we remember what you told us. You know what I'm saying? I just think that's how you really bridge it. That's how you really connect people.
Yes.
And like you said, that's how you really build a nation, bro. Right?
Yeah.
That's big.
That's
big.
how you could separate the real from the fake. The people who really have a passion for something and the people who just doing it just to do it.
That's how you can really find out who on your side. Not the ones that want to show you loyalty to support you because you're big, but can support you when you're down too.
Right.
You got another one?
No.
Oh.
No, we're going to keep
I
going.
thought we were
We're
going
gonna
to go back.
keep on preaching.
I was about to go in. Look. Let's
what
get
we
it.
picked, explain to us what we picked. We've all been through so much, and it's different stuff.
Yeah, facts.
And we all have different challenges where some come from a rugby background where it's so much pressure for them, they have to make it. Some of you were told you're too small. Some of you shouldn't even have made it of where you came from, but you still made it. Some of you playing for your mothers who just gave you everything they could. And he knew all of that, and that's why he picked us, because he knew we've seen struggle, and we've been fought through so much more than just a rugby game.
It's bigger than rugby. It's bigger than rugby. They out there playing for their country.
Man.
And not just whatever comes with it, whatever, perks come with it, but let's talk about the children who are watching them.
Yeah.
They are letting the children know that anything is possible. And as long as you continue to strive and get where you want to be, regardless of the stuff you're going through, regardless of the struggles, you can make it. Just like them. You don't have to be a rugby player.
No, you don't.
But you can make it. Now, I don't know nothing about these players. I don't know.
That's true.
But I know
That's
that
true.
they come from diverse backgrounds in South Africa. And I know some of the struggles. Just like we go through all of the people groups, I went through it with them too. Researching things online of what they go through. I'm a very fair person. But yeah.
Yeah, no,
That's what
I just want to put in there that that's why you got to be serious about your position you in. And understand that you are a representation. You got to be happy that you are a representation for people that are watching you, because you are probably their first person they see do something that they never thought was possible.
Yeah, this was great. We know that there are many parts to this, but we're trying to decipher which ones to react to, because some is super long. Yeah. But y'all let us know which ones y'all want us to react to.
That's it, yeah.
And we'll do it. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed this video with us. Be sure to subscribe. We'll see you soon.
Peace.